Hello guys, how are you? I'm sorry for my throat, but I'm a little sick. So anyway, I'm going to try to explain you how can you create your activity number 9 that it says a walking character. So first, as the instructions said, you need to change the dimension of your document to 600 pixels to 500 pixels. So I'm going to go to my document, as you can see here, and I'm going to change the size from 600 per 500. Okay, here is it. Now, the second step it says import three different landscape without people, pets, or clouds. And it could be the beach, the city, the countryside, etc. Each landscape must be in different scene. As you can see here, I place you three types or the three landscapes that you can use. I have here, so I'm going to import my three documents. I'm going to import to library, so I'm going to select the three of them, and then I'm going to click on the open. So as you can see here in my library, there's my three documents. Okay, now the next step it says insert a new layer and name it as Stickman. So I'm going to return to my document. I'm going to create a new layer, and this layer is going to be Stickman. Okay, remember to change the name of the layer, just double click on it, and there you go. So now it says I need to create my stickman using the oval and the lines tools. Following the instructions. First, you need to draw a circle as its head and draw a line as its torso. So I'm going to return to my document. I'm going to draw a head. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to change the color for the filling. So here is it, the head. And I'm going to draw the torso. Just a line over here. Okay, here is it. I'm going to move just a bit the torso, trying to align. Here is it. Okay, now it says select the head and the torso and convert them into a movie clip symbol and name it them as Stickman. So I need to press the Shift key on my keyboard, then I double click on the head and all the characters are selected, or also I can use the selecting tool and then I select both the shapes. So now I'm going to convert it to symbol. I press the F8 and it said I need to name it as Stickman. And the type is movie clip. So I just click on the OK. Here is it. Now I return to my instructions and it says that I need to edit the symbol by double click on it. So I double click on it and here is it. I can edit now my symbol. I'm going to change the zoom size from 100 to 200. There is it. In order to view better my stickman. Okay. Now I'm going to return to instructions and it says uh, in the edit symbol section, draw a line separate of the head and the torso as the leg. Then use the selection tool to select the top half of the line you drew as the leg, and I need to convert it into a movie clip symbol and name it as top. Use the selection tool to select a small part of the bottom of the leg and convert it into a movie clip symbol and name it as bottom. And click on the middle part of the leg, convert it into a movie clip symbol and name it as middle. So I'm going to return here and I'm going to drag a new line. I'm going to draw just right here. It's going to be my leg. I don't want it too long, so I'm going to start over here. Now it says that I need to select the middle of the leg, so I use the selecting tool and I'm going to select something like here. Have almost the half, just a bit more. Here's it, and it says I need to convert it into a symbol, so I click here and it says that I name it as top. Then it says I need to select a small part of the bottom, just right here, and it says that I need to convert it into a symbol and name it as bottom. And now it says I need to select the middle part and name it as middle. So I convert it into a symbol. Here is it. So I have 1, 2, and 3 parts. Okay. Now continue. It says that select the 3 new symbols, then right click on them and click on the distribute to layers option. Okay, so I'm going to select 3 of them. I right click on them and I choose the option distribute in layers. Okay, so I have middle, bottom, top, and I'm going to drag the top layer to the top. So I have top, middle, bottom. Okay. So it says drag and drop the top layer on the middle layer over the middle layer. So I done. Use the bond tool and join to the top symbol with the middle symbol. Next, join the middle symbol with the bottom symbol. So I need to use the bond tool and I'm going to join the first or the top with the middle and then the middle with the bottom. Okay, here is it. Now it says click on the first joint and go to the property inspector, activate the constraint checkbox and place the following values. So I'm going to return here and it says that I need to select the first one. Here is it. I select it. Then I'm going to the restrict. Is it correct? To constraint checkbox. The constraint checkbox is right here. It says restring here and it's in Spanish. So I click on it and it tells me that I place values like minus 90 degrees per 90 degrees. Okay. What's going to do this? If I move my leg just like this, it says I can move only in these degrees. Okay, that's the restriction that I am doing. I'm going to undo this, and then it says that I need to click on the second join, go to the property inspector, activate the constraint checkbox, and place the following values. The minimum value will be -6 and the max value 133. So I select the second one and activate this and I place -6 and 130. Here is it. So now if I check the second one, I just can do something like this, like my knee. It is trying to make a movement like your knee. Okay, I'm going to undo this again. Very good. So what do we need to do now? It says click on the armature layer and move it using the arrows on the keyboard, placing the leg at the bottom of the torso. So I'm going to click right here. So all the symbols are activated, and I'm going to use my keyboard keys to place the leg just at the bottom of the torso. Okay, here is it. Now, what it says now. Move the leg to the right like your stickman as it was stepping. Rename this layer as right leg. So I'm going to move this leg right over here, just like this. And it says that I need to rename this layer like right leg. Here is it. Now, it says go to the layer section, select the layers top, middle, bottom, and delete them. Okay, so as you can see here, I have these layers that I used before, but now they're not useful. So I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to delete them. Here is it. Now, what does the instruction says? Next, right click on the right leg layer and then click on the duplicate layers option. So I'm going to right click on the right leg layer and I choose the option duplicate layers. So here is it. I have one layer and this and the other layer, and this new layer I'm going to move it to the left, something like this. Okay, I'm going to try to turn the knee. Okay, here is it. Very good. So it says now select and move your armature layer to the left and rename it as left leg. So now I need to rename this as left left leg. Very good. Now what we are going to do, it says okay, I have the left leg. So go to the layer section, right click on the left leg layer and then click on the duplicate layers option. So I'm going to duplicate again this new layer. I duplicate it and then I'm going to move it using the arrows on the keyboard. I select it and I'm going to use the arrows of the keyboard and I'm going to move this new layer as it was the arm. So as you can see here, it says select and move your new armature layer to the right and name it as left arm. So I'm going to change the name like, no, I think I'm wrong. It must be the right arm. Yeah, here is it. Left leg, left leg. Oh, here is it. I need to rename it as right arm. So here is it. I'm going to rename it as right arm. Okay. Now it says click on the second joint of the right arm, go to the property inspector and change the constraint values to minus 133 and the max value to 6. So now I'm going to click on the second. As you can see here, this is the first and this is the second, and I'm going to change the restraint values to minus 130 and for the max to 6. So now as you can see here, now I can move my arm just like this. Okay, this is the right arm. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to duplicate this right arm and I'm going to move it to the front. Oh, here's it. And I'm going to rename this like left arm. Very good. So here we have our stickman. And I'm going to check, as you can see here, go to the layer section, right click on the right arm layer and then click on duplicate. We did that. Select and move your new armature layer to the right and name it as left arm. We did that. Click on the layer number 1 layer and then go to the frame 40 and insert a frame. So on layer 1, here is it. I'm going to place on frame 40 and I'm going to insert a frame with the F5. And what I'm going to do now, it says on the same frame 40, click on the other layers and insert a keyframe. So I need to go over here and you can select all of them with the shift key on your keyboard and then click on the final layer, and to insert a keyframe just I press the F6 as you can see here. So all of them have the keyframe. So what we need to do now, it says place yourself on frame 10 and move the right leg, the left arm, the left leg and the right arm forward, trying to place all of the parts in the middle of your stickman. Okay, there's some mistake in the instruction. So what I need to do, I need to move my right leg. Now I need to move, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't change to my position number 10. So I'm going to place on the frame number 10 and I'm going to move now my right leg, my left leg Now I'm going to move the left arm, something like here, and the right arm, I'm going to move it something like here. I think I'm going to move just a bit the left arm. Okay. Now it says that I need to do the same on frame 20. So on the frame 20, I want to place the left arm now just right behind. The right arm, I want to place it just like here. Oh, here is it. My left leg, I want to place it right over here, and the right leg, I'm going to place it behind, something like this. And on the frame 30, I need to place them together. Okay, it's look like it's something like this, but anyway, I'm going to try to adjust. So my left arm, I'm going to place it right here. The right arm, I'm going to place it just a bit behind. Now my left leg, I'm going to place it just a bit behind, and the right leg, I'm going to place it just a bit in front. Okay. So now let's try to check the play of our character, and there you go. As you can see here, if you want to check with a loop option, I can click in this option. Now I'm going to drag to select all the frames, and if I click on it, I can see my stickman in a loop option, in a loop way. Okay, now I'm going to stop it, and do I finish? I'm going to return to the 100%. Okay, now I'm going to exit from the edit section, and let's return to our instructions. Okay, so here is it. Now it says that I test my stickman and I exit from the edit symbol. I do that. Now it says create a new layer and name it as bird, then draw a bird with the wings up and convert it into a graphic symbol and name it as bird. Edit the bird symbol by double click on it and then do the following. So let's do our new layer. It says this new layer, I'm going to name it as bird, and in this layer I'm going to use the brush tool. Okay, I'm going to use this size, and I'm going to draw a bird with the wings up. So I forgot, I didn't change the color of the filling. So I'm going to draw my bird with the wings up. Oh. Okay, here is it. Now it says that I need to select it and convert it into a symbol, and this symbol is going to be bird, and it says I need to change to graphic symbol. Okay, so here is it. I have my bird symbol right here, and it says I need to edit it, so I double click on it, and I'm going to edit now my bird. But what I need to do, it says place yourself on frame 5 and insert a blank keyframe. Okay, I'm going to frame number 5 and I insert a blank keyframe. Remember to insert a blank keyframe, press the F7. Now it says activate the onion paper and draw a bird with its wings flat. Okay, so I'm going to activate the onion paper. It's right here, activated. So I'm going to my brush tool and I'm going to try to draw a bird with, oh, I don't like this wing. Okay, it's better with its wings flat. Okay, now I need to go to the frame 15 and insert another blank keyframe. Next, go to the frame 5, select it, Then right click on the copy frame. Okay, so I'm going to, no, I forgot something. I said go to the frame 10 and insert a blank keyframe and then draw a beard with the wings down. So I'm going to place on frame 10. I insert a new blank keyframe with the F7, and now I draw my bird with the wings down. Okay, here is it. Very good. Now the instruction said that I need to place on the frame 15, and I'm going to insert a new blank keyframe. Then the instruction was said I need to go to the frame 5. I select it, then I right click on it, I choose the option copy frame, then I place on the frame 15, right click, and I choose the option paste frame. Okay. And I am going to do the same on frame 20. I'm going to insert a blank keyframe, and I'm going to choose the first one. So I'm going to copy with the right click, then I'll click on the option click frame, copy frame, and then I return to the frame 20, right click and choose the option paste frame. Okay, so if I deactivate the onion paper and then I choose the option okay, and I play it, as you can see, I can see my bird like this. Oh, and there is something else. We need to add the classic twin to all of the shape twins, sorry. So I'm going to right click on this space right here, and I'm going to use the option create shape twin. The same I'm going to do right here, and finally here. So now if I play it, you can see that the bird is flying. Okay. Now I finished with my bird, so I'm going to exit. Okay, I'm going to move my bird outside the stage right here. There you go. Also my stickman, I think I'm going to move my stickman outside the scene. Here's it. Now let's go into the next instruction. As you can see here, I did what it says. I return to the frame 20. I insert the shape twin between each keyframe and test my animation. I exit from the edit symbol. Now I need to create a new layer and name it as clouds, and I need to draw 7 clouds, placing 4 up and 3 down. Next I need to select all of them and convert it into a movie clip symbol and name it as clouds. So I'm going to now to create my new layer. I'm going to name it as clouds. I'm going to place it on the top. Okay, now I'm going to change the color of my stage in order to can view where I'm going to draw my clouds. So I'm going to select the oval tool. I'm going to select the white color for the filling, and for the stroke I'm going to select none right here. Okay, now I'm going to draw my clouds. I'm going to draw the first. Okay, so here's it, my first cloud. And it says I need 7, so I'm going to copy and paste it. Remember, to copy and paste any object, you need to use the key combination Ctrl C for copy and Ctrl V to paste. Okay, so I'm going to, I have 3, I'm going to paste the 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, I have all my clouds, 4 on the top and 3 on the bottom. And it says then that I need to select all of them, and I'm going to convert it into a symbol. So I'm going to press the F8. I'm going to name it as clouds, and I'm going to select that I'm going to use the movie clip. So I left like it is. So I click on movie clip. I click on the OK button, and I'm going to edit it. So I double click on it, and as you can see here, I am editing only the symbol. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to align the top clouds on the top. I'm going to click on the modify menu, then on the align option, then I'm going to the top option, and all the top clouds are on the top. And now I'm going to do the same with the bottom clouds. Remember to select more clouds. You just click on one of them, then you press the shift key on your keyboard and you just click on the other clouds. So I click on the modify menu, then I go to the align option, and now I'm going to choose the option bottom. Okay, now I want to make all my clouds have the same distance, so I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to return to my modify menu, then to the align option. I'm going to choose the option distribute width, so I click on it, and all my clouds have the same distance between them. Okay. Now what I need to do, so I select all of them, I align on the top, on the bottoms, I choose the distribute width. Now it says I need to go to the frame 60 and insert a keyframe, activate the onion paper, and move my cloud to the left, trying to overlap the third cloud with the first one. Insert a classic twin between each keyframe and test my animation. Okay, so I'm going to place myself on frame 60. I'm going to insert a keyframe with F6. I'm going to activate my onion paper. Okay, here's it, the onion paper. I activate it. So now I'm going to move my clouds to the left, trying to overlap the third one with the first one. So I move it. Here is it. And now it says that I need to insert a classic twin. So I right click on these frames. I choose the option classic twin, and I test my animation. I'm going to deactivate the onion paper. So as you can see here, my clouds are moving. Okay, so I'm going to exit from the edit section, and well, what's next? It says that if you want to give a more realistic aspect to your clouds, click on the symbol, go to the property inspector, and add a blur filter. Next, go to the color effects section and choose the alpha option on the style drop down box, and finally change the alpha value from 100 to 700. From 100% to 70%. So I'm going to click on my symbol. I'm going to add a filter. So I'm going to click over here. It says add filter. I'm going to choose the option blur, that is this one. So as you can see now, my clouds is just a little blur. But now it says I'm going to need to the effect color. I'm going to choose the option alpha. And well, initial it must be the 100%, just like this, and I'm going to change it to 70%. So now my clouds are semi-transparent. Okay. Now it says click on the stickman layer, then go to the frame 120 and insert a keyframe and move your character to the opposite side of the origin. Okay, and now create a classic twin between both keyframes. So I'm going to click on the stickman character. I'm going to place myself on the 120 frame. I'm going to start a keyframe, and I'm going to place my character at the end or on the opposite side. Okay. Now it says click on the bird layer, then go to the frame 120 and insert a keyframe and move your bird to the opposite side of the origin. Now create a classic twin between both keyframes. So I select the bird one. Here's my bird. I'm going to place myself on the frame 120 and I insert a keyframe with the F6. Now I place my bird on the opposite side, and I'm going to add a classic twin. Oh no, I forgot to add a classic twin for the stickman. So I right click on the stickman frames. I choose the option insert or create classic twin, and I'm going to do the same for the bird. Okay, here is it. Now both the character and the bird has the twin. Okay, now let's continue. It says click on the clouds layer, then go to the frame 120 and insert a frame. So I know I'm going to place on the 120 and I'm going to insert a simple frame, just pressing the F5 on my keyboard. And what's next? Now it says go to the layer 1. Here's my layer 1. And then go to the library panel and select one of the three landscape images you imported before and drag it into the stage. Okay, so it says I'm going to click on the layer 1. I'm going to the library and I'm going to choose one of the options. I'm going to choose this one, the beach. So I'm going to, oh, I forgot, I need to be here on the first frame. Now I'm going to drag my image and I'm going to adjust my image. I'm going to define that I want the 600 width and 500 for height, and the x and y coordinates I'm going to give 0 and 0. Okay. Okay, so you can see here now there is my image. I'm going to place it with the F5 in order to I can see my landscape. And if I execute now my animation with Control Enter, you can see now my stickman walking on the beach and the bird flying in the sky, and the clouds are moving on the sky too. Okay, I'm going to close it now. Well, that's all for the first scene. So let's continue what it says. It says insert a new scene and insert 3 more layers. So I'm going to insert a new scene, and it says that I need to insert 3 more layers. So it said 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now it says I'm over here. Rename the new layers as clouds, bird, and stickman. Okay, so I'm going to rename as clouds, as bird, and as stickman. Okay. Here is it. Now it says click on the first layer, then go to the library panel and select another image and drag it into the stage. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to the layer number 1. I'm going to the library. I'm going to choose another. Here is it, and I drag it in here. I'm going to change the sizes from 600 and 500, and the coordinates is 0 and 0, and there is it. So I have now my scene, my new layer, and it says click on the clouds layer, then go to the library panel, select the cloud symbol and drag it into the stage. So I'm going to click on the clouds layer. I'm going to the library. I look for the clouds symbol, and it says that I just drag into my stage. I want to place it here. Now it says that I need to, I'm going to move just a bit here. Click on the bird layer and then go to the library panel, select the bird symbol and drag it into the stage. So I'm going to click on the bird. I look for the bird. Here is it. I'm going to place it here. And finally, it says click on the Stickman layer, then go to the library panel, select the Stickman, and draw into the stage. So I'm going to click on the Stickman layer, then I choose the Stickman, and I want to place it right here. Okay, now what can we do? Okay, I'm going to repeat the something like I did before. So I'm going to place on the 120 frame. I'm going to add the simple frame for the layer number 1. For the layer Stickman, I'm going to insert a keyframe, and now I'm going to place my Stickman right over here. For the clouds, I'm going to add just an F5, and in this case for the bird I want to do something special. Okay, I'm going to show you another trick. So I'm going to insert a new layer. This new layer I'm going to name it as guide. I'm going to right click on this layer, and I'm going to choose the guide option. Okay, now I'm going to draw a path, something like this. I want to my bird to something like this. Okay, now I'm going to place my bird into the guide. So I'm going to select it, then I'm going to drag and do something like this. So now I can drop my bird. And now I'm going to place my bird on the initial point. Okay, here is it. Now I'm going to place a keyframe for my bird on the frame 120, and now I'm going to place my bird at the end of the path, just right here. Okay, now as you can see here, my bird is staying here. I forgot to create the classic twin, so I insert the classic twin. I insert the classic twin also for my Stickman. And now if you follow my bird is going to follow the path that I traced. And now if I execute my document, you can see the first stage, and now the second stage, the bird is going to follow the path that I traced. Okay, now as you remember, I said that you could change or to add some filters to your clouds. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to select my clouds. I'm going to return to the add filter. I'm going to choose the option blur, and I'm going to put the alpha value on 70. Here is it. Okay, now for the final, I'm going to insert a new scene. Okay, I'm going to add 3 filters again. The first one, I'm going to place the clouds, my bird, just bird, my Stickman. So in the layer number 1, I'm going to my library. I'm going to choose the last image that I'm going to use. Here is it. I'm going to change the size, 600 for width, 500 for height, and now the X and Y coordinates must be 0 and 0. Okay, now I'm going to place on the Stickman. I'm going to look for, here's my Stickman. I'm going to place it, in this case I'm going to place it right here. Now my bird, I'm going to place it, I need to click on the bird layer. I'm going to place my bird in this side, but I'm going to flip. So I'm going to the modify menu, to the transform option. I'm going to choose the flip horizontal. Here's it. And for my clouds, I'm going to, where are my clouds? Here's it. Sorry guys. And I paste my clouds right here. I'm going to move just a bit. And I'm going to add a filter, blur filter, the alpha value. Okay. Okay, this time I want my bird be over the clouds. Okay, very good. Now, it says that on frame 120, I'm going to insert a frame for the layer 1 and for the clouds, the simple frame. Oh, I forgot this is my bird. I'm going to do, this is my clouds. I press the F5. And for my stickman and my bird, I'm going to press the F6, that is to insert a keyframe. Now, as you remember, it says that I need to move my stickman to the other way, or on the opposite side. So here is in the opposite side, and I'm going to add a classic twin. Okay, and for my bird, I'm going to do the same. On frame 120, I want my bird right here. Okay, I'm going to insert a classic twin, but I want to do something else. I want to shrink my bird. I'm going to choose with it 30% for the width and height. Okay. So now I'm finished. So let's check how it does. Our animation is, so it's the first stage, the second stage, and the final stage. Okay, and that's everything that you need to do. So as you can see, it's not very difficult. Oh, I forgot, you need to save your document. So you're going to the file. In this case, I'm going to choose the save as, and I'm going to save my document as activity 9, my name, and my last name. Okay, so I save my document, and I'm going to create again my SWF. I just click OK, and as you can see, it's not very difficult, and you can do it. I trust in you. And if I had some mistake, I don't know, in the instructions or in the video, I'm really sorry. But as you can see here, today is Sunday, March 8th of 2015, and the hour is the 4 hours 34 minutes and 21 seconds on the morning. I start to make this video from 12 a.m. but the video software that I use is not very well. But well, I try to do my best in order to help you. So that's all guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this video must be very useful for you. So